Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story of empires, ambition, and a coastline that became one of the most contested pieces of real estate in the 19th century. We're talking about the Horn of Africa, and specifically, how modern-day Somalia was carved up during the intense period known as the Scramble for Africa. For centuries, the Somali coast was a vibrant hub of trade, connecting Africa to the Arabian Peninsula and the Indian Ocean. Its cities were centers of commerce and culture. But in the late 1800s, everything changed. The opening of the Suez Canal in 1869 was the game changer. Suddenly, the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden became the world's most critical maritime highway. The main artery connecting Europe to its colonies in Asia, especially British India. And just like that, the Somali coast went from being a regional trading power to a piece of strategic global real estate that the European empires just had to control. The first major player to make a move was Britain. Their primary concern was safeguarding the route to India. They needed coaling stations for their steamships and a reliable source of supplies. Particularly meat, for their garrison in Aden, just across the water. So, in the 1880s, Britain signed a series of treaties with the northern Somali clans. They established a protectorate, which would later become known as British Somaliland. Their goal wasn't deep colonization, at least not at first. It was strategic positioning, a guard post on the Horn of Africa. But Britain wasn't alone. France also had imperial ambitions in the region. They wanted their own foothold on the Red Sea to rival the British presence in Aden and secure their own trade routes. In the 1880s, they established a coaling station at Obok and expanded their influence, eventually creating French Somaliland, which we know today as Djibouti. This small but vital territory gave France a strategic port right at the mouth of the Red Sea. Then came Italy, a nation new to the colonial game and desperate to build its own empire and gain international prestige. They saw the unclaimed central and southern Somali coast as their opportunity. Italy began by establishing a protectorate in the central regions and then moved south, eventually taking control of the valuable Benadir coast with its port cities like Mogadishu. By the early 20th century, they had consolidated these territories into what became Italian Somaliland, their largest colonial possession in the region. So now, let's picture the map. In the north, you have the British. Right next to them, the French. And covering the vast central and southern coastline, the Italians. But there was another powerful force at play, and this one wasn't from Europe. It was the neighboring Ethiopian Empire under Emperor Menelik II. Fresh from his stunning victory over the Italians at the Battle of Adwa in 1896, Menelik was expanding his own empire. He pushed his forces into the Ogaden, a vast, arid plateau historically inhabited by Somali clans. The European powers, wanting to avoid conflict with a strong Ethiopia, signed treaties with Menelik that formalized his control over this region. This effectively drew a line on the map that cut deep into traditional Somali territory. And that's how the Horn of Africa was divided. What was once a culturally and linguistically connected region of Somali clans was now split into 5 distinct parts: British Somaliland, French Somaliland, Italian Somaliland, the Ethiopian-controlled Ogaden, and another area in the south that would later be incorporated into the British colony of Kenya. This division wasn't just lines on a map, it had profound and lasting consequences. The Somali people, who had for centuries shared a common language, religion, and nomadic culture, found themselves separated by artificial colonial borders. These borders cut across traditional grazing routes, disrupted long-standing clan relationships, and imposed different languages, laws, and administrative systems on people who saw themselves as one. Resistance to this foreign domination was fierce and immediate. The most famous and sustained resistance movement was led by Syed Muhammad Abdullah Hassan, a religious and nationalist leader whom the British nicknamed the Mad Mullah. For 20 years, from 1899 to 1920, he waged a relentless holy war, or jihad, against the British, Italian, and Ethiopian forces. His dervish movement united various Somali clans under a banner of anti-colonial resistance and Islamic identity. Using guerrilla tactics perfectly suited to the harsh terrain, he fought the colonial powers to a standstill, becoming a symbol of Somali nationalism. It wasn't until 1920, when the British used airplanes for the first time in colonial warfare in Africa to bomb his strongholds, that his movement was finally defeated. After World War II, the tide of colonialism began to recede. The dream of a unified, independent Somalia started to gain momentum. In 1960, a historic moment arrived. British Somaliland gained its independence, and just 5 days later, Italian Somaliland did the same. The two territories chose to immediately unite, forming the independent Somali Republic. It was a moment of incredible optimism and national pride. The new nation adopted a flag with a 5-pointed star, where each point represented one of the 5 parts of the divided Somali lands, symbolizing the dream of Greater Somalia, the unification of all Somali inhabited territories. However, this dream of unification would prove incredibly difficult. French Somaliland chose to remain with France, eventually becoming the independent nation of Djibouti in 1977. The Ogaden region remained part of Ethiopia, leading to bitter conflicts, most notably the Ogaden War in the late 1970s. The Somali-inhabited part of Kenya also remained within its borders. The legacy of those colonial lines drawn a century earlier continued to shape the region's politics, fueling conflicts and tensions that persist to this day. The story of the Scramble for Somalia is a powerful example of how European imperial ambitions redrew the map of Africa with little regard for the people who lived there. The strategic importance of a shipping lane led to the division of a nation, creating borders that have shaped the destiny of the Somali people for over a century. It's a complex history of empires, resistance, and a dream of unity that continues to echo in the Horn of Africa. Thanks for watching. If you found this history interesting, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into history. See you next time.